Hi guys, this is going to be the tutorial that's going to show you how to make these flower granny squares. And all you need is a 5mm hook or size H hook and at least 4 colors if you want to make them like this. You don't have to have 4 colors, but I recommend having 4 colors. And this is worst weight, 4-ply for the US and 10-ply for Australia. And let me show you close up here if you wanted to see. I made this one kind of like mosaic colors, and I just love the teal. And then this one I kind of went with like sunflower colors in mind. I would love to see what you came up with. Could you imagine a whole Afghan made of this or that? It would just be gorgeous, I think. But this is the same center and everything as I did for my daisy bathroom mat that I did. And it was just to the circle part here. And I'm teaching you how to make it into a square using the butterfly stitch. So these are the 4 colors that I've chosen. Kind of went with the gold and orange, hoping that it'll show up on camera. So what you want to do first is pick which one you want for your flower. And I think I'm going to go with this one. And then also the center. You have to pick a color to go for your center, which I think I'm going to go with these 2. Or these 2. I think these 2. Okay. So once you got that picked out, grab your color you want for the center first. And we're going to be making the large motif of the daisy bathroom mat that I have. And I'll show you how to do that here. Okay, first things first, you want to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And using your first stitch that you did, the first chain, you want to slip stitch to form a ring. Now you want to chain 3 and slip stitch into your ring. Just like that. That's how you make your petals. You need to make 10 of these for the center. So I'm going to chain 3 again. And then again, you just want to go into the center and slip stitch that chain 3 to the center ring. Again, chain 3. I can show you this one in slow motion. And you just continue to do that until you have 10 of these small little petals like this. So just do the chain 3, slip stitch, do that 10 times. And you will have to pull your stitches down just to make room. Okay, I got my 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So once you got your 10, you want to cut your yarn and grab the color that you want for your petals and make a slip knot. Now you're going to be doing the same thing that you did before, except you're going to be using the back stitches of the little petals that you made. So the back stitches are here. You can see the separation. You want to slip stitch your color using the back stitch here to attach. and then chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and again, move the tail out of the way, and again, you're going to be using this back stitch. There should be 2 little pieces of yarn here, and slip stitch, then chain 3. You're using the back stitches. You need to continue to do this until you have 10 little petals, like this. Do you have 10 little chain 3 petals? Go all the way around, and at the end you should have 10. Okay, at the end here, and the stitches 9 and 10 can be difficult to find or to get in there. It's okay, just get it however you can. I think I'm going to have to use my hook, maybe even go through only one. It's however you can find to attach to this last one. But the thing is, you want to make sure it doesn't come out the front side so that it doesn't show. Okay, I have one more to attach. There's my first chain that I did here. I think I'm going to just go in to the bottom chain and grab just one of those just to attach. Then chain 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I don't need a chain 3. Got my 10, and now what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into this first petal to the left. Then I'm going to turn, and now this is my front of my flower. I'm going to go ahead and just slip stitch back into this other one to the left. Now, we're going to be starting our petals. What you do is chain 1 and then go into that chain 3 petals area. These go into this first one and double crochet. Yarn over, go into that same area, double crochet. So that's 2. You need a total of 5. So that's 3, 4, and 5. Once you get your 5 double crochets, you want to flip your flower over, go into the top of the first double crochet that you did, and slip stitch. Chain 2, turn your work back over. Now you want to go into the next chain 3 space here and do 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you want to turn your work over, and again going into this first double crochet that you did, slip stitch, chain 2, turn your work back over, and then put 5 double crochets in the next. You want to continue to do this all the way around until you have 10 of these little puff petals. And you can get a tapestry needle and hide this tail along the bottom part. You can even feed it to the bottom and then hide it in the stitches back here. But get this out of your way. Okay, when you get to the end, you only want to chain 1 after this last petal, because you'll get your chain 2 finished when you do your slip stitch. Now you want to use this hole created every time you turn your work around and you slip stitch to close to make the puff stitch. You left a hole at the top, and this is what you want to slip stitch into here. Slip stitch here just like that, and now you've also got the second part of your chain 2. Now you want to chain 1 and cut your yarn. And now you want to pick the backing that goes behind, and I've just been using the same color that I did for my center, but you can do whatever color that you like. Once you got your color, make your slip knot. Then I'm going to go ahead and hide my tail here behind the stitches underneath. Just so it doesn't get in my way when I'm doing this next section. All you got to do is find any chain 2 space in between the puff petals. And you want to attach. I'm going to attach by using a slip stitch. Chain 1, and this will not count as a stitch. Now in the same space, I'm going to put 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. Now, working into that same place you slip stitched into before to end the round, you're going to be putting 2 double crochets in the tops of the puff stitch using that stitch. Just like this. You'll have 2 in the puff stitch hole here, and then 2 in between, and you'll continue that all the way around. And when you get to the end, you should have 40 stitches. Okay, I've gotten to the end, and you want to slip stitch in the top of the first double crochet. Just like that. Then cut your yarn. And again, you want to hide your tail, or you can do mine a little shorter, or you can work over your tail. Then you want to pick the next color, which I was kind of going for like a medium kind of color, and then like one of the brightest colors here in the middle or on the end, one of the two. So I think since that's too close, I don't know, that might be too bright. Okay, I think I will go ahead. I'm going to use this color for the next round. I really don't like this color, but I'm going to use it just because it's the only one that I have that really shows up on camera. I prefer a darker color here, but for you guys, I'm going to stick with the lighter color. So my tail's here. You can go in any stitch and do a slip stitch attachment, just like that. Now I'm going to go in to start my butterfly stitch now. Go in, pull up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, only go through one of the loops, and then go back into that same stitch, pull up another loop, 3 loops on the hook, pull through 2, then pull through the other 2 loops, and then chain 1. Chain 1 is part of the butterfly stitch, so you must chain 1 at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and go in through the same stitch and do another butterfly stitch in the same stitch. So pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 1 loop, go in through that same stitch, pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and chain 1. What we're working on now is a corner. We're turning our circle into a square. So the next stitch here, we want to go in, pull up a loop. We're just doing a butterfly stitch. Pull through 1 of the loops, go in through the same stitch, pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, pull through 2, and chain 1. And again, you want to put another butterfly stitch. And if you don't know how to do the butterfly stitch, I have beginning tutorials that show you this cool stitch I discovered that shows you with much better yarn and lighting and everything, I'm sure. So you have 2 butterfly stitches here and 2 butterfly stitches here. So to do the middle part in between each corner of the square, this row you'll have 4 butterfly stitches worked in between each corner section. This is a corner that you just did. So you want to do 4 butterfly stitches. And since we're going to be doing them normally, butterfly stitches are usually worked using 2 stitches. So we're going to be going into the next stitch, pulling up a loop, pulling through only 1 of the loops, then going into the next stitch, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through the other 2 loops, and chain 1. That's 1 butterfly stitch. Now going into the next one, pull up a loop, pull through only 1, then go into the next stitch, 3 loops on the hook. You want to yarn over, and basically you're doing a double crochet, chain 1. That was 2 butterfly stitches. It's 3. That's 4. So that's 4, so we're going to start in our next stitch doing the other corner. You go in and you work butterfly stitch in the same stitch, chain 1, and then again you go into that same stitch and do another butterfly stitch, so that you have 2 butterfly stitches in the same stitch. And again, the next one, you want to work 2 butterfly stitches in this next stitch. That's 1. That's 2. And again, chaining 1 is a very important part of the stitch, so make sure to always chain 1. Now again, you want to do 4 butterfly stitches worked normally. So you go in 1 stitch and then you go into the next stitch to finish. Chain 1. Go into 1 stitch, then into the next, finish. So you want to do that each time. You'll do 4 butterfly stitches work normally. Then when you get to the corner, after the 4 stitches, the very next stitch, you start your corner. You put 2 butterfly stitches in 1, and then the very next stitch, you put 2 butterfly stitches in the next. Then you'll work your 4 butterfly stitches again. all the way until you get up to here, and I'll be right back. Okay, at the end of the row, the last butterfly stitch here, don't do a chain, because when you slip stitch, you're adding your chain. So you want to go in through that first stitch here and do a slip stitch. Then chain one and cut your yarn. And select the next color that you would like to make your next round. Oh, by the way, you should have 48 stitches here. Okay, I got my color, and I used to like to start on the opposite side of where I ended. So I have my increase here, which is 2 butterfly stitches, 2 butterfly stitches. And then in between, there's a stitch of a butterfly. This is what we're going to be working our corners in from now on. And we're not going to be putting, like we did before, 2 butterfly stitches inside one wing. We're only going to be putting 1 butterfly stitch in one wing and 1 butterfly stitch in the other, in the corners, to increase for the next 2 rounds. No longer will you need to put 2. So what I'm going to do is, you can go in through any place, but I guess I'll start here in the corner. So I'm going to choose that space that's in between. This is my 2 butterflies, and this is my 2. So I'm going to go into this 1 butterfly, do a slip stitch attachment. Now you want to go in through 1 wing, pull up a loop, pull through 1 of the loops, go in through that same wing, pull up a loop, and pull through 2, and chain 1. Now for the increase in the corner, like I said, you want to go in through the other wing here and do another butterfly stitch. And this will be your corner. Now working across the top, from this corner where you start your first butterfly stitch, your normal butterfly stitch, to the end where you do your next corner, you should have 7 butterfly stitches in between each corner. So this is my first set. So I'm going into my first wing, because as you know, if you've done the butterfly stitch before, or if you want to take a look at my beginner video, you can see this much better. You go in through 1 wing of the butterfly, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 1 of the loops, then you go in through the next wing and finish the butterfly stitch. Chain 1. So each butterfly stitch is worked in using both wings. You'll start in this one, and then you'll finish in this one. And that's 1 normal butterfly stitch. Butterfly stitches are typically worked using 2 stitches. So you go through 1 wing of the butterfly, and then you finish it in the next. And you want to do that until you have 7 butterfly stitches at the top. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need 3 more. 4, 5. And this one's kind of weird because where you attached it. So just do your first part of the butterfly stitch in kind of that bigger section, and then here to the left, go ahead and finish it. It's only going to be on the place where you attached it. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 1 more. So now I have my 7 butterfly stitches. So now I need to start my next corner. And you can see, if you look at it, you have 2 butterfly stitches, 2 butterfly stitches here. So you know that it's correct and you're in the place you need to be. So an increase for the butterfly stitch is putting 1 butterfly stitch in 1 wing, complete the whole butterfly stitch there, and then go into the next wing and do a full butterfly stitch there, and that completes your corner. And then again you want to do 7 normal butterfly stitches along the top, and then you start your next corner and repeat this all the way around till you get back up to the beginning. And remember, when you get to the end of the round, the very last butterfly stitch, you don't have to chain 1. You just slip stitch into the beginning stitch. Okay, I just finished my next row, and now usually this is the second row of butterfly stitches. There's a total of 3. Usually for my third, I use the color that I used for my flower, just to bring it back into my square again. And you do the same exact thing as you did last round, but instead of having the 2 butterfly stitches together, you worked 1 butterfly stitch in each wing. So to start your corner, you're going to do the same thing. You find your corner and attach into 1 wing, single crochet attach, then going through that same wing, pull up a loop, only go through 1, go in that same corner, that same wing, complete. Then now you go into the next wing and you do another full butterfly stitch there. And that's what you'll do again, once again, for the corner, is just putting 1 butterfly stitch in each wing, and then you'll want to continue to do regular butterfly stitch. By the way, if you need to know the number of stitches that you had last round, you should have 72. But if you did the 7 butterfly stitches here in the corners correctly, then you'll have exactly the amount of stitches that you needed. Now, for this next one, you'll need to have, I believe it's 8 or 6. It's 8. So you'll have 8 butterfly stitches in between each corner. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oops, 6, 7, and last one, 8. This one is again difficult because you connected here. So again, you have the big space, and then the next little spot here, finish it. That's my 8th. Now, you're here at the corner. You do 1 butterfly stitch in each wing for the corner, and then you just continue around. Make sure you have 8 stitches in between each corner. Okay, just finishing up again. Last butterfly stitch. You don't have to chain 1. Just slip stitch and chain 1 and cut your yarn. Now that's 3 rows of your butterfly stitch. Now for the very last one, I usually bring this color back into, so I'm going to do the last row using this center color. And we're going to be doing single crochets to finish the border. And I measured this when it's all said and done, and it's 6 inches. So this is a 6-inch square. So again, I'm going to start in a corner, slip stitch attach. Then I'm going to go back in through that same stitch and do my first single crochet. And then again, go into that same butterfly wing where you attached and do your second single crochet in the corners. This is where I am in the corner. starting in the corner again. So you want to go into the next wing and put 2 single crochets there too. So in each corner you want to put 2 single crochets in each wing of the butterfly. The rest you just want to put 1 single crochet in each wing of the butterfly. There's 1, go into the next butterfly wing and do 2. So you want to work 1 stitch in each wing, the corner where you would normally put 2 here. Well, you usually do 1 butterfly stitch and 1 butterfly stitch. You want to put 2 single crochets in each wing and continue all the way around and repeat. So I just got done with my border. I'm just going to go into this last stitch to do a slip stitch, chain 1, and then depending on how you're going to use this, if you're going to make an afghan, there's several ways to attach it. So you can either leave yourself a long tail, or if you're going to do the single crochet method, then you can leave yourself a long tail enough to be worked in with the tapestry needle, and then do single crochets to attach. It's up to you. Depends on however you want to use your granny square. But that's it. That's how you make your granny square. And I hope that this tutorial has been helpful for you and that you can make your own. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll have a pattern with the pictures on my website, and you can find that link in the bottom of the description box below this video. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and share this video, and please don't forget to subscribe.